This is part 2 of Shiloh. 30 to 32,000 seems reasonable. Okay, his left flank is very weak, and his right flank is very strong. So, what are we going to do? Okay, my right flank is looking better and better. I just need to get some ammo. You can see the ammo wagons. I fought this part of the battle and the end of the battle twice. And the first time, the AI did not attack very much. And basically the artillery just... my artillery and his artillery just fired at each other. So I destroyed his left flank and then destroyed his artillery, of course, on his left flank. And then after that, the two armies just looked at each other. I brought my right flank back toward the fortification. When the timer ran out, my whole army went back to the fortifications. Instead of attacking aggressively, like he did on Brigadier General, he just sat there. He fired at the landing position. His artillery fired at the landing position. He had about 60 guns. I had 30 good guns and a bunch of 6-pounders. His were mostly 12H, but he did have some 10P. And yeah, I basically lost 11,000 men just doing nothing. Now I can replace all those losses for free, but it was very boring video. So what I did was I decided I want to attack. So I'm going to wait my right flank and attack. And I'm going to attack for the purpose of destroying his left flank, then getting behind him and destroying most of his infantry and all of his artillery. Now, I was pretty skeptical that this would not work, but I was very certain it would make more interesting video than basically 6 hours or more of just artillery shooting at each other while the infantry did nothing. Now, the end result of both battles was almost identical. There was almost no difference. The only big difference was my infantry got a ton more XP. I still lost the same number of men. In fact, I lost about 100, 150 more men by attacking. But there were two things. One, yes, my units got a bunch more XP because the infantry was fighting instead of just standing around. The video, though, much, much, much more interesting. And, I make YouTube videos, and boring videos are just not what you ever want to do. So I get my cav behind this guy, and we're going to kill this guy. And the reason I went all the way over here is I wanted to, of course, annihilate the 2 artillery and the infantry you see on the left. But then I saw this guy, and I want to take him out, maybe capture the supply wagons, and then kill the guys on the left. So now, one of the reasons I need the supply wagons is I only have my 2 supply wagons. So I want to get, I'm going to use captured supply wagons because there's a lot going on. I mean, this force that's going to sweep all the way behind the enemy is going to need supply. I mean, this is not vanilla. These guys are going to need supply. So here are 2 supply wagons. I want these. And I'm willing to use the supply there. So, okay, we captured this guy. And then, of course, I'm going to have guys on the left. I'm going to have guys in the center. I'm going to have guys in the right. Also, the position I'm in right now, I just held this for, the whole time. Just that line right there. In this battle, I'm going to fall back because I want the enemy to go further north so that I can go more easily around behind him. Does that make sense? That's the plan, anyway. Yeah, he's firing at my cav. We don't want that. That's bad. Okay, when the Allied units come in, we'll have to set up a defensive line and then fall back, and hopefully he attacks north. Lieutenant Colonel Schaefer is wounded. Is that my cav officer? Not entirely sure. During the battle, I stopped and took a look at it. Okay, you can see I want to set up people in this line. Again, first time I played it, we just sat in the Hornet's Nest, which I think should be improved. I think it should have, I think that should be an improved position, especially to artillery fire. Because, man, historically, they held out there for a really long time. Okay, we want that supply wagon. Right now, just get it away from any... Like, I expect his infantry to just start running after the supply wagon. That's worst case. Somebody's running somewhere. Not sure where. I'm afraid he's running after the 2 captured units I just picked up, so we need to get those out of sight. Get my cav out of sight. Okay, my cav is hidden. That's fine. Okay, I put my cav a little bit too far to the right. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any more artillery over here. Then they're going to come back and help with like they're scouting. Okay, what is the enemy position I'm looking at? Now, see, one of my Johnson is spotted, so I need to move him out of the way because these infantry units can fire a fairly long distance. See, you can see where I want the enemy to attack. Right in here, right? That's where I want him to attack. Best laid plans, man. Best laid plans. It's a good plan, but the enemy doesn't cooperate. So my ammo wagon is up. I need to get these guys resupplied and then start the attack. That ammo wagon needs to get over to my infantry that's on this side of the river. Like, you can see I got my attack started, like, right away. Like, some guys get over there right away, start hitting the enemy flank. Okay, got the second supply wagon. That's good. I'm thinking, might need both of these. I don't need both of these because I didn't bring enough. I have plenty of supply. I mean, I'm loaded. But I might not have enough in the right place. This is going to be a really big position. I'm going to need an ammo wagon down with all the artillery in the north, an ammo wagon at the position you're looking at the bottom of the map. There'll be people eventually over to the far right side of the map, and then, I mean, it's going to be a really, really long front. Oh, and you cannot imagine how happy I am that he's charging across the river. You cannot imagine my joy. That is perfect. Okay, this is going to be interesting. He's 2,200 coming in on my unit 1,400. This is already more interesting video than all of the video of the first time. That guy, that 1,300, is the only infantry unit over there. That exposes his 2 artillery units of over 500 to certain death. I have 3 cav. If I can get my melee cav back, they're slightly out of position. Get all this artillery firing. You can see I have detached skirmishers. These are green infantry that started at 1,600, and they're no match one-on-one for his units, but, you know, 2-on-1, I'm hoping it'll be okay, particularly with artillery support. So his first unit of whatever it was, I think it started at 400, he's already routed. He has a second unit coming in. I'd like to kill both of those. I'm looking at an infantry. Like, I've already scouted these guys. They're small, they're undersized. The 1,900 is, you know, that's a problem. That guy's a problem. And he's already engaged with my no-star infantry. I can't get support over there fast enough. Like, I'm out of place. I'm going to lose that one. This 2,400 is going to plow into my line. I mean, this is exciting stuff. None of this happened the first time I did this. I'm telling you, really boring. So This 2200 is popping through the middle of my line. The 2400 is going to pop here. Colquitt has muskets, so I really need like 3-on-1 with artillery support to win all of these, and I don't have it. So I'm going to lose some of these. So I'm trying to get 2-on-1. Okay, his first unit routed. I need to shift fire to get this second unit. He has this Jackson. I think Jackson must have melee perks because he's pretty tough. I mean, he hit that unit 1-on-1, so that was an absolute no chance. This guy has 1,000 wood coming in. My cav is just a tiny bit out of place. Those are two skirmishers, one with Enfields and the other one with 61s. So I'm trying to do all this at once. We won the first melee. Everybody shift. Get on top of this 2300. Colquitt's going to break. Milroy, get up there. I'm charging wood. We're going to break him. I'm charging this other guy on the left. We're going to break him. We broke this. The guy that's down to 2,000, but this one guy over here is not breaking. Okay, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan McLean. Boo, Ryan McLean is gone. What, was he killed or wounded? That's the big thing. If he's wounded, he's coming back right after the battle. No big deal. If he's killed, that's a loss. Okay, we got a capture. Okay, one of the differences in the two playthroughs is I captured actually fewer in this battle because when I did attack on the right, I got mostly shatters, not captures. So that's unfortunate, but it's only like a 1,500 difference. Yeah, my units, my core units, took more losses than my allied units this time because my guys are going to do the fighting. My guys are going to do the lion's share of the fighting. First time I did this, I, let the allied unit. It's only a difference of maybe 1,000 shifted from allied to mine. No, not even 1,000. It's less than that. I forget what it was, but it wasn't that much. Yeah, this guy, this infantry unit, I remember this infantry unit over on the far left that shattered. Where my cav is right now, that's where I captured him the first time. So that was a capture, and I think he was about 1,800 when I captured him last time. He's a shatter this time, and that might account for the whole difference in captures. Okay, he's coming in again with 1,400. Like, this is exciting, We just lost Major, I think. Major Hayes. This is exciting stuff. This is good video. And the question is, this is what Major General should look like. It shouldn't be just infantry rolling up, and then he rolls up his artillery, and you exchange shots because he has larger numbers and he has more artillery. He has a lot more artillery. When I reloaded the save, I think he might have 140 guns. So he got a whole bunch more splits. Yeah, this is what Major General should look like. This is Shiloh. It's supposed to be a nightmare. It's supposed to be bloody. It's supposed to be edge of your seat the whole time. This is perfect. And oddly, I'm enjoying this. I did not enjoy just sitting for 6 hours and firing artillery at each other. I wanted to attack, and I kept thinking, no, the smart play is, be cautious. No, I want to attack. And that's why I reloaded. I just wanted to attack. The enemy is there. I want to go get him. I may go after the enemy methodically, but I always attack. I defend only because I need to defend for a short period of time, or maybe even for hours, waiting for the rest of my army when I will attack. I mean, that's the whole thing. I do not want to just like sit passively and defend unless it's actually a purely defensive battle. And I guess the campaign has a couple of those. Okay, this is bad. This guy, in the middle of my army. Okay, somebody else surrendered. Okay, another artillery. Okay, we're crushing his far left flank, and as soon as we do this, these guys are going to roll up the entire length of his left flank and come in behind him, and then just roll up his center. Those guys in the center, they're green troops, almost all of them. Okay, another surrender. They're green troops, almost all of them. Their job is just hold. Just hold while this force over here, which is now being resupplied and everything else, destroys the enemy left and then rolls up and then falls in on the enemy flank and rear. Now, the thing about Ultimate General with the JNP mod, that's going to take a long time on this mod. And we're going to have to rest a couple times, and we're going to have to recharge morale and condition. Throughout this thing, where his units are just slamming into me, the biggest thing is I've got to manage morale and condition properly. Also, hit pause, shift fire, make sure your commanders are in the right place. Okay, I have that beautiful defensive line to the north, which is doing nothing. I keep thinking he's going to shift to the north. He's captured the hornet's nest, he should shift north. That would be ideal. That's what I want him to do. That's where all those 6-pounders are, and James is up there. I mean, and the Allied units. So actually what I do is I end up detaching skirmishers and sending them south, but then right behind that I send my infantry, and I decide to, like I send my infantry right behind the detached skirmishers, and I decide to attack south. Really, all I had to do was get the attention of the AI and just draw them north, probably with detached skirmishers and maybe an allied unit. You know, they would have lost their mind and gone north, and once I pulled them north, it's all good. Okay, 300, 300. We broke this guy, the 1700, but my units are losing morale and condition. This 1300 already broke. He's a green unit. He had no chance. Okay, Jenkins gets into melee. Okay, he must be melee cav. Well, I think I'm going to win this, or at least make Jenkins fall back. That green unit's probably going to rout. Okay, I'm looking at morale and condition. Could be better. Could be better. I must have pushed Wagner up, and Wagner must have been too close to a melee and fallen back. Get him up. Need to get the ammo wagons up. These guys still need to resupply. Like, there's a lot to manage here. And if I screw up, my entire line can collapse. And I don't really have any place else to go. Like, I really need to hold this line, or maybe even I could fall back a little bit to the north, but like, I don't know, this tree line right here that I'm trying to hold, maybe I should fall back to the next tree line. And then the enemy then the AI might go north. But you see what I'm doing? I'm moving south. Maybe not the best play. Yeah, maybe I should have fallen back to the next tree line. I'm just looking at this and thinking out loud. Didn't occur to me during the battle, but maybe I should have fallen back. Let them have it. And then maybe that would have... Now he's going north. Now he's going north. Okay, that's good. But instead of just... Like, initially I fall back, but I decide to keep pushing the attack, is what ends up happening. Because my idea was to move south, attract his attention, and draw him north. But as soon as the battle started, I decided to attack, attack, attack. So the plan changed as soon as I had contact with the enemy because I wanted to attack. Like, really, I'm looking at that and I'm going, yeah, I moved south to get his attention, to get his whole army to move north, to like bait them in. But I'm looking at this, no, let's attack this guy. Let's attack this 1200. Okay, Meredith has no chance against this 1900. I need to get 2-on-1 on this 1950, or he's gonna, it's gonna be bad. So I'm trying to buy some time. I have the Napoleon and also the 3-inch gun there. If they can fire a couple volleys into that guy, we're gonna win that. But if my unit of 1500 just met him 1-on-1 without support, he'd rout. Captain Shane Nelson is wounded. Division Commander William Brooks is wounded. That hurts. But we did win the melee to the north. I don't see how we win these two melees, though. 2 of my units already routed. And he's coming in with 2,300. That unit of 1,100 in the north is holding that farmhouse. So he's holding up 4 of my infantry units. Now look how much of the blue line there is and how much of the red line. Yeah, I found one of his artillery units kind of out by itself, so we're going to kill him. Yeah, the problem is a large number of my infantry are just terrible. No star, 42s, I mean, just terrible. And he can just steamroll right over top of them. I'm looking at this, he's got... Look at all these 1-star and 2-star units that can just run right over top of my army. And he's coming like non-stop. And 4 of my units are fighting an 1100s, a unit of 1100. And he's just tanking it. So in order to get his attention, I have to make that guy of 1100 retreat. And then maybe some of his units that are lined up to attack me where I don't want him to attack will turn north. That would be ideal. And it's going to take a long time, an agonizingly long time for my infantry to get around behind him. And my infantry is already tired and losing morale, even with commanders right there. I mean, it's just... Okay, finally, the 1100 breaks. Okay, I see he has a 1200. Wondering if he has anything, you know, around behind his right flank. Okay, looks like we have 1, 2, 3 of his units flashing white, retreating. This 600 should not be a factor, but he is. He's going to be able to get 2-on-1. Okay, Hodgson Sun surrenders. Okay, my Cav did good work there. He has way too much Cav, though, for me to be able to just run around and, you know, get up to any tricks. He started with 148 guns. That's crazy. He's down to 84. Yeah, better check out my commanders. They need to be touching all of these units because morale, look at that, 31 morale. I mean, I'm looking at this, 76, and condition is gone. Like, these guys are getting worn out. Of course, the AI doesn't care a tiny bit. Yeah, that's 640. I should have 2-on-1 on that guy. I have a 1-star unit. I should win this easily. Nope. Nope, not quite. Now his 1600 is coming in, so he's got... Now he has 2-on-1. And his unit of 1800 is just steamrolling through my line. Yeah. All of my units are retreating. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I keep feeding more units from the north to the south. My northern line has been feeding my center, and I've been feeding units from my right flank to this clump of woods that you see right here. But now he's coming in 2 units on top of exhausted and busted units. This is not good. Which is Major General. This is how it's supposed to be. I'm telling you, the first video was boring. This is not boring. This is good stuff. Hey, that unit started at 1600 and he's down to 1000. So yeah, these guys are taking losses. If I can get around behind this guy and start attacking his artillery, that would be great. But one of the units is that 955. That's just the garrison unit. Everybody else was 1600. But he came in at 900 and something just because, you know, just hold a garrison point. But now he's the tip of the spear. Okay, my unit surrendered. My unit was so broken by that 1800. He's right next to my commander. He still surrendered. Like, I'm having to throw tiny units, worn out units into the melee, detached skirmishers into the melee. It's all I've got. These guys are on empty. And when their morale hits 0, you know, there's a random chance they just surrender. And I don't have any live units that can pick my guy up. Like, I'm trying to get the commander in there to pick him up. Nope, because he's touching a live enemy unit that's not routing, so I can't recover him. You can see how far away my infantry on the right is. Like, these guys are going to have to hold on their own for a while. it's going to take them a long time to get into the battle. So I decided to attack my northern flank, which was supposed to be a defensive line. I want them to attack just to take pressure off my center, which is being broken. So if the AI was really smart, like I can see flashing units charging, he would just keep throwing guys into the meat grinder. Just keep going, because he would push me back to the next wood line, and I don't think I have anything to stop him. Like, everybody's routing. And with condition low, they're not going to be able to get there effectively. Okay, somebody surrendered. Yes, I got supplies. That's good. Yeah, everybody here is routing except for 2 units, I think, coming in. And these guys, like right now, I brought in a couple units from the north. So we've got the numbers. We can make that guy retreat. But look who's coming in. 3598 is coming in. And there's no way he doesn't bust a huge hole in my line. Like, there's no way. And all these guys are on cooldown for charge. So they're going to get no bonus. And probably all of them are no-star units. So when that 3598 gets there, I know that these other no-star units are just gonna, they're done. And this is exactly what Major General should look like. Okay. Those 2 guys broke at just the right time. The 2 guys slightly to the north. I just need to break this 1800. And we'll have some stability on the line. Some. Yeah, his 1500 is trying to retreat. My units are both exhausted and no morale. Okay, here he comes. He's down to 67 guns. And I really, really need to get on the flank of this, somehow get on the flank of this 3500, while holding the line against everybody else. Yeah, I've got nothing. I've got nothing, and right behind that is a 1500, and right behind that is another, yeah. So we're going to try to distract him on his other flank. We're buying time for my right flank to get around. Once my right flank gets around on him, things are going to turn around. I know I'm going to win this. I know I'm going to win this if these guys don't just all mass route, mass surrender. But look, they're just mass routing. He hits the line, they all route. Detached skirmishers get melted. Just melted. One after another. They're buying time, but that's all. This guy of 1700, he's in the woods getting cover. Like Wagner once again was near a melee, and then that if they're near a melee, they just run away. So I just need to convince this cav unit to like go back. I don't want him wandering around. That's all I need to do. Like, I outnumber this guy, but my army is so terrible. And his army is pretty good. I think he has, well, I recover mostly 42s, but all the units, when I check what they're carrying, what they have, they're all carrying reboards. So, yeah, also notice how, like, 10% condition. That unit cannot fight. There's no way. Not in the JMP mod. He cannot fight. So basically my snipers, I'm counting on them to rout this unit of 1500, which they do. Yeah, all my detached skirmishers are dead. Over in that melee with the 3500. I threw them in. I'm trying to buy time while my artillery convinces this large unit to rout. I wish I had one more fresh unit over there. If I could get a fresh unit on top of him, maybe we could get... we're not going to get a surrender. The odds against that are, like, million to one. Oh, hey, wait. I did recover that guy. I must have recovered him with a detached skirmisher. The guy further to the south, I recovered him. He surrendered and I got him back. Now he's getting popped in melee. And that 1700, he could just go through all 2, 3, 4, 5s. He could go through 6, 7 units. He could go through all 7 of them. They are just completely exhausted and worn out. So I'm trying to get units up to fire on this his artillery, try to distract him, distract his cav, distract his artillery. Like if my cav does nothing else but get his artillery to turn around, that's a win. Yeah, that's Nelson. Nelson with 42s, he surrendered. Yeah, look, everybody's finally hitting him. That 3400, 6-pounders at canister range, the Napoleon, the 3-inch gun. I think they're all hitting him, and he just took a bunch of losses. Unfortunately, I don't have any fresh units there. And he's just like steamrolling through my line, no chance. And that other unit's not giving up either. He's also steamrolling through my line. Okay, look at this. The unit that came in at 3,500 plus, he's routing. Now I got to get this other unit. Everybody focus on the other unit that's even further to the left than... I can't see the name on that guy, but the unit of 3,000... At least he's retreating. That'll buy me some time. He's at 3,300. Just keep hitting him. Hopefully he retreats. Now we got to get everybody focused on this guy that's over by Wagner. And what I need is, I'm down to these 2 infantry. My whole plan revolves around these 2 infantry coming down on the enemy flank, hitting them from the south. And of course, the snipers and 3 cav units. Yeah, unfortunately I have no fresh units over there to do anything. I could recover, if I had 1 fresh unit over there, I could recover Nelson. But if I don't make this guy retreat, I mean, it's kind of academic. Milroy, one of my good units, is just bleeding to death over there. Sully, need him to get up. If Sully could just get up there, that would be great. Sully was in the attack on the enemy left, helped destroy the enemy left flank, but I had to bring him back to try to save the center. Oddly enough, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I'm going to win this. The reason is the size of the blue bar compared to the red one. What value is recon? I know I'm going to win this. The size of the red bar to the blue one, all I have to do is when I get all of my units up and online and against him and all of my artillery up, I'm going to just overwhelm him. The only thing that must happen is this resilient little unit of 1,600 needs to stop just making my entire army rout. Fortunately, I have a fresh unit coming up. Hopefully, we'll do something. Come on, Sully, get up there. And then I'm going to have to rest all those guys for 20 minutes before I can do anything. They're completely exhausted, zero morale. It's going to take forever to get them to come up. So a couple of my units have recovered, but they're completely broken. A little bit north, 1,900, 1,300, completely broken. But that artillery, my good artillery, is going to convince that unit of now 3,200 he needs to get out of there. Come on, Sully. Counting on you. Depending on you. Okay. Loomis is low morale, but he has 28% condition. I'm down to 99. Detached skirmishers of 99. Get on top of this guy. You're all I've got. I'm going to throw you into the battle. Okay, Amen is flashing white. That's no good. Because I have nothing else over there. But it does look like I'm getting the AI's attention. Like, he's not just having infantry units slam into my collapsing center. He's actually having units turn to face to the north. Now this is going to hurt the guys in the north, but it'll save the guys in the center. Oh man, his unit of 3,200 just recovered. That's not good. Come on, artillery. Pound that guy. Make him rout. Okay, the unit of 1,600 finally had enough. Sully was enough to turn the tide. Thank goodness I got Sully moving. Wagner, stop running away. Get back in there. Oh, and Loomis was hitting him in the flank. So I'm having one detached skirmisher try to recover Nelson. We have no chance. That's a waste of time. Okay, I got one of his units over here to rout. Poor Law. Law has no chance. I have no officer over there. He's charging in with a unit of 1,000. He's getting, torn to pieces too. His cav is really good. Yeah, Law is going to crumble. See Law on the right side of the map? He has no chance. He's going to crumble. Hazen, fall back. You have no chance. These guys have already distracted the enemy. So the AI is attacking to the north. That's good. Law is killed. He was a captain. Yeah, he had no chance. We have to get that unit of 3,000 to turn around. And look, morale and condition is terrible. But what we did do is we got the enemy to spread out, stop charging the center of the line, and my 2 infantry units are about to get with the unit of 1,100, and with Loomis, that'll be 4 infantry units, 2 snipers, 3 cav. He's going to have to do something about the south. The other thing is, I'm not trying to run out the clock. I'm trying to make use of every minute I have to fight. I want to kill his artillery before the end of the phase. I want my units to fight as much as they can before the end of the phase. And I know they're going to take losses, and they do, but I want to fight. I want to see what happens if I just fight the enemy aggressively on Major General. What happens? Yeah, I put 2 detached skirmishers in the hornet's nest. Let's see what happens. Let's see if the enemy can knock me out of there. Those are 2 positions, fortified positions. The unit is 93, 90, 86. I'm hitting him with artillery, but nope, his unit of 1,500 did fine. There's another unit of 90. Yep, that detached skirmisher vaporized. But during the entire time he was taking artillery, and he's going to rout. So, that's good. That's 2 or 3 decimal seconds that he'll be unable to charge, and then he'll recover, and he'll instantly charge and break 6 of my infantry. That's kind of what it feels like. It's not exactly that bad, but... So I'm moving my commander forward. I'm walking my infantry forward that's in that big clump over there, but they need 20 minutes. 20 minutes of rest and recovery. And I feel now I can give it to them. I can give them 20 minutes of rest. Let them recover. We'll still have an hour left in this phase, and we'll win. And I'm looking at this, I'm going, 1, 2, 3, 4 of his units are flashing white. These guys have done an okay job. They're going to recover, but look at them. They're not as strong as they were. 1,300, 1,400, 3,000. I mean, my guy started at 1,600, so... But... we took the worst of it. And they're going to recover. And this unit of 800 is routing on the right side. This unit of 1,000, I'm not worried about this guy a tiny bit. But I'm kind of looking and going, why are so many of my units at 50% condition? I'm going to have to rest them too. And as I rest, the AI will also rest. And then I guess we'll do it again. But I'm looking, look, one of his units is only 360. That's good. Yeah, I'm looking very closely at morale, condition, what's possible. Yeah, get the snipers out of there. Get out of there. Harris, fall back. Rally, charge. We're going to get 2-on-1. I just needed like a second for my Cav to get up. Come on, Cav. Time to pop this guy. See, they were just a little bit out of place. So I had Harris fall back. We're gonna thump this guy. It's time for my army to do some, we're going to beat up on somebody. I'm tired of getting beat up on. Yeah, 14%, 17 condition, 5. These guys need, I'm telling you, they need 20 minutes in game. They're going to have to rest. So, yes. Told you, time to beat up on some people. We captured another 900. Okay, the tide has turned. I feel good about it. I outnumber this guy. I'm going to get him. The goal is to kill all of his artillery in the next hour. So, hour and 20 minutes. So, we'll save that for the next time. And so, stay tuned. More of Shiloh coming up. Thanks for watching.